tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're with my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable. Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking. Now that I've been put through, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
It's your boy Miguel Z with the VOW Wrestling New Japan Rebound Podcast. I've got a guest for you folks at Stockton Con.
What up, everybody? AJ Kirsch here, the voice and the host of Stockton Con. The value of wrestling is awesome, so subscribe on YouTube. Scan the QR code right here, now. Subscribe, check it out.
There we go.
You'll be glad you did.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, that's what. Hey, man, shout out the value of wrestling. I'm right here with the Big Oos, San Jose. We gonna shut the shit down. Love and respect, all right? Value of wrestling. Hello.
Man, thank you, brother.
Oh, you didn't know? Well, you better let somebody know, because we're back. We're back. We're back to do it again, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Value Wrestling. This is your SmackDown post-show review right here on the Value Wrestling on YouTube. I'm the Big Jack, along with Paulus. Clarke. He's back here in the show tonight. If you were here for Wednesday night show, I'm sure you had an entertaining time with Marty Richards and Miguel Z reviewing Dynamite, but we're going to get back to the business of what we do best here, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to talk about SmackDown. We are here to break it down. We are here to do all the good stuff. And, damn it, train of thought went out the window. Damn it. We're going to cover SmackDown. I had a whole thought, then the whole went. But we're here to cover SmackDown. We're going to give you all the details. We're going to break it down. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get it all started, lottie-dottie, on the party. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. Hope you like the show. Go ahead and vote in the poll up here so far at 100% on good. But let's get into this Dynamite show review. Tonight we continue.
SmackDown, anyways.
SmackDown. show review. We're going to get into the King and the Queen in the Ring tournament. We continue the tournament tonight. Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax, Bianca Belair versus Tiffany Stratton, Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes, and LA Knight versus Tama Tonga. We get all the previews of that. We get to know that Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul are going to have a little chat tonight. DIY and many other things are all open in the beginning. We get a brief hype video as Bianca Belair heads to ring to open the match with Tiffany Stratton. We get a good solid match here between Bianca Belair and Tiffany Stratton. Definitely good solid back and forth. This match went no time. Okay. I don't have time on it, but the match was a good solid match. In the end, Tiffany drags her ring skirt into the ring, then rakes the eyes of Bianca while the ref isn't looking, then falls with a chop block, sliding clothesline for a near fall. Belair blocks the prettiest moonsault ever, then hits a kiss of death to win and advance. This match went 13 minutes, 10 seconds. There it is. Bianca Belair is your winner. A good solid match. Belair gets a post-match interview. She admits her knee isn't great, but she's not going to make excuses and plans on becoming the queen of the ring after this. So she moves on into the semifinals, which will happen next week on SmackDown in Saudi Arabia. SmackDown will be in Saudi Arabia, so we're going to get Bianca Belair against the winner of the later tournament match between Nia Jax and Jade Cargill. This was a solid match, a good showing, a good coming out. Not surprised Bianca Belair won here. We'll see if they're going to let her be the queen of the ring or not, but a good solid match. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts?
I was very surprised. I mean, they both have talent, don't get me wrong. But just because there were points in the match, I couldn't tell who was really going to go over. Because they both made strong arguments in the ring. So, I mean, the fact that Bianca pulls out the win, no crime in that. Let's see where we go from here.
No, and I don't know how much of over the last few days, the Tiffany Stratton news and her video or her statements that came out that were semi or what was racist or what was not, because I never really read it, never really caught wind of all the details in it.
Neither did I. I have,
and I've heard mixed reports.
I vaguely know what's being talked about in that regard.
I don't know how much that played into this. I don't know. The reports have gone back and forth that she was this one point this match was canceled, at the next point the match wasn't canceled. So, I thought this would have been a good time to put Tiffany Stratton over. I don't know if that plays into it, why we went with Bianca Belair, or if Bianca Belair was the winner all to begin with. So, I mean, it's interesting. We'll see what they're going to do and see how it plays out.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we get a recap of Cody and Logan's slightly long-winded promo from last week. Logan Paul walks in the back. He briefly runs into LA Knight. Yeah! As Knight is leaving the office of Nick Aldis. Aldis is fortunately on hand to keep them from being any more than a stare down as we head to a break. We come back to Byron talking with Jade in the back. Jade has heard all about Nia, and Nia is just in her way. Belair shows up. They gab for a bit, and she's wrestling each other next week before Jade heads out. Next, we get a recap of Solo Sikoa, the man who's in charge while the tribal chief is gone, claiming that he got the go-ahead from Roman to be in charge. An audible "We Want Roman" chant can be heard over the clip. Tama Tonga is doing a mild Tasmanian devil impression, something like that. He was doing something. What you call it, I don't know. I guess they're trying to play into the psycho mentality that he's supposed to have. It was very interesting as he warms up. Then Heyman asks Solo if he's talked to Roman today, and Solo says, "All the time, wise man." Elsewhere, LA Knight gets interviewed. He wants to talk to us. He's ready to introduce Tommy Tonga to some blunt-force trauma. Carmelo Hayes interrupts to Jow Jack, and Knight compares himself to Tom Brady to talk about how draft orders don't matter. Hayes says that after tonight, the most important letters from WWE won't be RKO, but it'll be HIM. Knight mocks how his spelling talents and gets his catchphrase now, "Go play somewhere else. I'm busy." And then he leaves. Great comments here, great moments all across the board. The ring, we see Tama Tonga coming out to the ring. We're going to get Tonga and Knight after the break. Knight comes out to a loud pop after the break, and we get LA Knight, versus Tama Tonga, Tonga Leo, Solo Sikoa, and the wise man Paul Heyman all at ringside. We get a loud "We Want Roman" chant from the crowd tonight. This is a good solid match between these two. Knight bounces Tonga off the apron several times. Then they head Back into the ring, Tonga gets bounced into the corner, then a tilt-a-whirl power slam, jumping elbow from Knight. Knight sets up for blunt force trauma, but Leo pulls Tonga out of the ring, so Knight hits him with a diving dropkick. Solo Knight square off briefly. Knight encourages him to hit him, but Solo declines. Back in the ring, Tama hits a flatliner to get the pin. This match went 8 minutes, 84 seconds. I'm getting choked up. No. A good solid match here. I definitely think I can't wait until they really just let Tama Tonga maybe be a little more violent. I definitely want to see that here again. It seems like he kind of snuck a win. I don't know why we're building Tama Tonga as a sneaky winner when he should just be dominating and being a major threat. He does feel like a threat somewhat, but I don't know if he feels like the threat I would like him to see. Your thoughts, Mr. Clarke?
Well, considering his time in New Japan and how, whether we're talking as a tag in Guerrillas of Destiny or as a solo, yeah, Tama's character's been a little bit different here. We know he's capable of more, and maybe they're just kind of holding that back until they really find a time when they really need to pull the trigger there. But they're still giving him great character work, and so I guess we can't be too mad about that.
No.
He did get the win tonight. So, yeah.
After the break, we'll have a scintillating contract signing. Post-break, Knight walks in the back complaining about the fairness of his match. Carmelo Hayes walks by, and they get into a shoving match, continued by jaw-jacking for a bit before being separated. We are now in the ring with Nick Aldis introducing our contract signing participants. Cody gets on the mic first and wants to know what the people want to talk about. Cody does love Jacksonville. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, WWE was in Jacksonville tonight. Wonder who else might have been in attendance for this Jacksonville show at the 5-Star Memorial Arena. So I don't know if Dave Meltzer got to name this arena, but hey, who knows? He asks Logan if he knows what happened here 32 years ago. Of course he doesn't, and Cody brings up that 32 years ago today was War Games 1992. Sting's squadron against the Dangerous Alliance, headed by Paul E. Dangerously. If you don't know who Paul E. Dangerously is, go Google it. Yeah, I'll pull a Tony Khan of myself, right? Mm-hmm. You might be a wise man if you know who Paul E. Dangerously is.
Yep.
Or maybe you want to be extreme to know who Paul E. Dangerously is. Why do we consider one of the best war games? Cody knows that bit of trivia because, like the people here, he's a fan of professional wrestling. Logan Paul isn't. He calls Logan Paul a tourist. It's about time for Logan to get off the train and drop the U.S. title, make Cody a Grand Slam champion. Logan says he's been told that several times before. He's heard all of that and didn't come here to talk. Logan is here to sign the contract and goes over the contract with some legal representative before tearing it up. You see, Logan has his own contract, one that does not put the U.S. title on the line. Logan tries to get Aldis to make Cody sign it, but Aldis has had enough of this nonsense. Aldis will not stand for this unprofessional behavior. Logan's lawyer tries to chime in, but nothing comes of it. Cody is willing to play a bit of a peacemaker and puts Aldis over for doing a wonderful job. Cody will handle this from here and dismisses Aldis. Logan has signed the new contract that says Cody hasn't done anything to prove that he deserves a U.S. title shot. While Logan has proven time and time again he's deserving of every title in the industry, in the whole industry, every title in the wrestling industry that there is out there. So Logan Paul proclaims he deserves every title from any company, anywhere. So
okay.
Cody says the honeymoon with Logan is over. He's seen Logan do a flip and doesn't care. And after their match, Logan will find out who he is on the inside. Ultimately, Cody does sign the contract, then ducks a cheap shot and clothesline for good. We didn't talk about a moment here where Cody brought up Mike Tyson knocking out Logan Paul's brother in about 8 days. And then Cody Rhodes is going to pin the other brother. Great stuff there. Good stuff here. It's a cheap way to weasel out. We were all wondering what they were going to do. At one point, they were saying this was going to be a title for title match. We did not know how this was going to go. No Marty tonight. Of course, there's no Marty Miguel. That's only for you. That's only for you. But anywho, we were wondering how they were going to get Logan Paul out of this title match where the U.S. title wasn't going to be on the line, or how this was going to work out, and now they found a way to do it. Does this make Cody look stupid for signing a match where the other title isn't on the line? It's not Cody's. This is more Cody's style. Let's get it done. Let's get it going. So, I mean, you have to look at it from the way Cody's character is being portrayed. You can be angry about it. You can be mad about it, but they did it. We know Logan Paul wasn't really going to lose this title. This at least gives us a match that we may see Cody get a clean win instead of Logan Paul using the brass knucks to get disqualified or whatever may come.
And yet, Saudi Arabia is still getting the match that they want, apparently, since Logan Paul is so over, but just with the same results as when he faced Roman Reigns. So, I mean, it is what it is. Everybody, for all intents and purposes, wins.
Well, YouTube's a big thing over there, and so Logan Paul being big on YouTube, yeah, so I get it. Tama Tonga can talk. I don't know why they don't let him. Yeah, he talked tonight. He went, so, I don't know. It just sounded like, I don't know. He sounded like an angry honey badger. I do not know. In the back, the immovable object Nia Jax talks. She dismisses Jade as a threat to her, and then heads out to the ring. The match is up next. We're getting the final, the Queen of the Ring tournament the quarter. I don't know what we're getting anymore. Anyway, Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill. The winner of this match is going to take on Bianca Belair in the semifinals before we head into the King and Queen of the Ring tournament. The King and the Queen of the Ring pay-per-view, PLE, in Saudi Arabia next Saturday, yes, the 25th. Anyways, we get an interesting match here. We were wondering how they were going to do this. Nia Jax being built up, Jade Cargill being built up. We didn't want to see Jade Cargill lose. We didn't know how she was going to beat Nia Jax. This turned into very much a street fight. At one point, they introduced us to Jade's daughter, who was cheering on her mommy. Nia Jax got into her daughter's face and went back and forth, and basically Jade Cargill eventually snapped and hits Nia Jax with the chair. Jade blocks it and then hits Nia with the chair. It went back and forth. Eventually, Nia Jax hits the win at 2 minutes, 12 seconds due to the disqualification of being hit with the chair. This was the best way to protect Jade Cargill, I guess, in WWE's appearance. I don't know if this was a change-up. I don't know if the issues with Tiffany Stratton reversed a lot of things here, because Bianca going over, was that the original plan? Jade losing here, was that original plan? Or was this all changed up because they don't want to see Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair yet? There's a lot of questions here. Nia Jax wins. Nia Jax is going to take on Bianca Belair due to a disqualification. How that all plays out, we're going to have to wait until next year. They continue brawling outside while the crowd chants bullshit. Jade spears Nia into the ring post. Nia sucks and doesn't sell. I don't know about that, but it was a match. Not a pretty match. Not the greatest match. I don't know if this is the right way to go about it, but I don't know how much of this may have been changed due to recent conversations, or if this was just the plan all along. I get trying to keep both these women looking strong, but I don't know if this was the best way to go about it.
I think for their purposes, it actually probably was the best way, just because it makes sense. Whether there was internal politics or not, don't know, don't care at this point.
Yeah.
Just because we got what we got, and we go forward from this point.
No, it was what it was. They kept Jade Cargill looking okay. I do feel like it takes a little shine off for her to letting herself get DQ'd. I think they needed to play a little more on her daughter being out there. If they would have played with her daughter being out there, Nia Jax harassing her daughter, and then had Jade Cargill kind of like snap, this would have, I could have felt this feeling a little more. This kind of, like, they teased that little piece there, and I was kind of like, why are we introducing her if she's not going to be part of the focal point of this match? Meaning, Nia Jax should have been over there harassing her daughter a little more, and then Jade Cargill should have snapped, or, you know, something. It's like they brought her into it for a brief moment, and then they went on kind of fighting, and then it just kind of was disappointing in some aspects.
I can see that argument.
Well, I mean, if you wanted Jade Cargill to get DQ'd, I think if you would have made her snap and made her beat down like Nia Jax with the chair, it would have kept Nia Jax, or it would have kept Jade Cargill looking strong. Of course, she might have turned Jade Cargill heel and Nia Jax babyface in that, but I mean, if you would have played her daughter into that a little more, like Nia Jax was grabbed her daughter, or, you know, did something a little more antagonizing to her daughter, and made Jake Hardy like, oh, hell no, mommy bear protecting daughter, I think you would have gotten a little more value out of that than the way it kind of just fell in. Mr. Z, yes, there's no Marty tonight. Why would you think Marty would show up? He's here for you. You call out Marty. Mr. Clarke doesn't call out Marty usually. He just helps instigate Marty to come out for you. And you and Marty had a wonderful show on Dynamite. You had a great review. I've heard fans were calling for it again. They want you and Marty Richards to be the full-time host for Dynamite. This could be your future. You and Marty Richards working together, side by side, traveling the world. You and Marty Richards could be at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. That could be something interesting. Anyways, from there we get the tag team match, DIY. As I'm, proudly wearing my DIY shirt. No bad DX jokes tonight. No Jar Truth around. They're taking on Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar, and Electro Lopez out here. This is a great tag team match. They did let Legado del Fantasma, Angel and Humberto look pretty decent here. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa looking like they should. Ciampa ultimately wins and hits a suplex. Gargano tags in and runs wild for a bit. He hits a slingshot spear that was amazing. To Humberto, dives onto Angel. Escobar tries to distract the ref, which allows Lopez to rip Johnny Gargano's leg from under him. He is on the top rope, so he crouches himself on the top rope. The ref semi-knows something happened, so she ejects Santos and Lopez, but before they even leave, Humberto gets meat in the middle, and that'll do it. DIY with a win at 8 minutes, 33 seconds. This was good to see. This was what we needed to see. Hopefully they're rebuilding DIY. Of course, the team of A-Town Down Under, Austin Theory, and Grayson Waller were sitting at ringside in commentary. This is where we're heading with the tag team titles. I think hopefully maybe we'll get this title match at King and the Queen of the Ring, or maybe we'll do it afterwards, but I think this is a big moment. Of course, if DIY is going to get another title shot, they've got to win. There's just no other choice. I think that'll disappoint a lot of people, though, if Grayson Waller and Austin Theory lose these tag team titles real quick. But again, Theory and Austin Theory and Grayson Waller don't necessarily need the tag teams. It helps, but they don't need the tag teams to be this cocky, heelish tag team that could do something special.
For sure. Yeah, you've already laid it out. Whether A-Town Down Under, retain or lose, it's going to be interesting. If DIY loses and they play this story, if they can't win the big one, it's like they lose stock as a tag team, but then again, that could also be the catalyst of them separating and feuding with each other. So it's kind of a hard call on all around.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to see Gargano and Ciampa separate. I think winning the titles and then having that title loss, repeating the story so you can rebuild that story again is a great way. You could do the same story, but I really want to see them as champions. I think the fans want to see them as champions. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. DIY is there. It is time to put titles on them. The fans are behind it. They didn't show any of the leftover feelings that we had when they didn't win the tag team titles on Raw. Tonight, we didn't get any of that leftover feelings. It seemed like DIY was back on the same page. So hopefully, and I think Triple H would be the same way. He wants to build DIY up to be the special team, carry these titles, and then when it falls, I think he's going to try. I definitely think he's going to try and trick us enough that he wants us not to think it's going to happen. He wants us to suspect it to happen, but I think he's going to try and trick us that it may not happen. You know what I'm saying? Like the turn isn't going to happen. Right. Just so we're not quite ready for when it happens, because I think Triple H, like all of us, just know that story needs to be retold. That story needs to be retold and then told out like it was supposed to be before it got ruined in NXT all the many years ago. And so I think we had a special thing here. Commentary acknowledges the QR codes over the last few weeks. They show one of the videos and bring it up. Corey Graves makes a slight remnants to the last time we had QR codes. And so it's very interesting out there acknowledging the QR codes and what's going on. So we'll have to see how that all plays out.
I mean, I understand not doing it week 1 or week 2, but they had to at some point, because it makes us like, you don't watch back the show? Really?
Yeah. In the back, AJ Styles talks with Byron Saxton. AJ doesn't know where he goes from here. He and Cody had a great match, and he nearly won, but couldn't finish it. Then he had a shot at the King of the Ring, only to lose in the first round. Well, next week he's going to see Nick Aldis, and we'll figure out where he goes from here. What is AJ's future in WWE? We know he re-signed. We know he's here to stay. We also know AJ's pretty much said he's going to wrap up his career in WWE. I do not hear any rumors or any talks of AJ being interested in going down to AEW. And I don't think there's anything for him to really do in AEW. What is he going to do from here? Where do they take AJ? It's going to be very interesting. Can't wait to see what they do with him going forward. Your thoughts
Absolutely.
on AJ?
I mean, he's a premier guy. Use that status, to make money. So now the question is, how are they going to do that? He's still skilled. It's like he might be a little bit slower than 20 years ago, but half of AJ Styles is still a whole lot more valuable than some other talent there.
But he can still go, and now he's bulked up and looks even more impressive.
Now he's got the star status to go with
the
wrestling ability.
He's got an amazing talent. Can't wait to see what's going to happen here. To the ring, here comes Randy Orton. That includes Randy being in the we get told about Randy Orton being at the UFC event in St. Louis last Saturday. After the break, Carmelo Hayes enters, and we get a post-match break with Bayley, with Byron, and she's talking to Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, and she talks to them, and she will be meeting Chelsea in the ring next week. Next week, we're also going to get Belair versus Nia Jax for the semifinal matches of the Queen of the Ring tournament, and Tama Tonga versus either Randy Orton or Carmelo Hayes. The winner of this match will meet next week for the finals of the Men's King of the Ring, semifinals for the Men's King of the Ring tournament. Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes starts off this match. He takes down Randy Orton, and then he kind of smacks him in the back of the head. He gets real cocky. Afterwards, talks a lot of smack. Randy looks at him and has that glare, and Randy goes on fire, just ramming Carmelo into the ring post shoulder first, not once but twice, and just beat up on the poor boy. Eventually, he took him outside and dropped him on the announce table with a backdrop once, then did it twice and rolled back in the ring. The crowd screamed, do it again, one more time. So Randy went out and dropped him on the announce table. I don't know if the announce table wasn't meant to break or what happened here. I don't know if they did the first time the announce table didn't break, so Randy did it again, hoping the announce table would break. I don't know if this was a super strong announce table or what was going on. Eventually, Hayes turns it around slightly. He starts to look like he's going to be able to come back. Hayes then climbs up the ropes for nothing but net, but Randy avoids it, catches Hayes with a hanging DDT. Randy sits for an RKO. Hayes counters with a schoolboy for 2. Hayes off the rope into an RKO. Beautifully hit. That'll do it. This match went 10 minutes, 26 seconds. Randy Orton is your winner. He is moving around in the tournament. Good, solid match here for Randy Orton. We go up to the ring to have an interview with Randy, but it's cut off as the Bloodline walks out to stare him down. They're trying to intimidate Randy. He's a multiple-time world champion and soon-to-be king of the ring. Next week in Saudi, he's going to put his foot up Tonga's ass and introduce him to the RKO. And then we get the end of the episode. A solid SmackDown. Building the next week's SmackDown. Next week's SmackDown will be in Saudi Arabia. And that'll be a very interesting show. That'll be taped. So that'll be a good thing. And then Saturday morning, we will be watching here the King and the Queen of the Ring tournament. After that's over, we will be here live with your full post-show review. Myself, Mr. Clarke, and of course, Mr. Z. Mr. Z will be here. Mr. Miguel Z.
There's no last-minute things.
Well, as long as he doesn't get abducted by Marty Richards, he should be good. So we'll have all of that. And then, of course, the Sunday, we will be trying to survive what is called Double or Nothing. The dawn of professional wrestling is coming to you live from Las Vegas. The dawn, which is almost done. It's going to be interesting. So we have busy next weekend. This weekend is going to be very quiet. Tomorrow, Mr. Clarke, you have coming out...
Already scheduled, Catching Up With.
Yes, the Catching Up.
Where we're talking about what happened this weekend in NWA Power, NXT, Ring of Honor, and TNA Impact.
And then Sunday,
show for those 4 shows.
Yes, and you can catch up on everything going on in those shows. Mr. Clarke breaks that down to kind of tell you what's going on these other shows, because we do like a lot of this other stuff, and we're trying to introduce an audience to it and find an audience that does enjoy that to find out more of the details going on there, since we don't do a deep cover on any of that at this time. Now, if they become better than AEW, we may switch there. Who knows? You never know.
Impact is working on it, or TNA Impact is working on it. That's all I'm going to say.
Now, Sundays, we're here with the weekly Roundup podcast. That comes to you at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where me, Mr. Clarke, and Mr. Z sit down and we discuss everything going on in the week of professional wrestling. Lots of stuff to discuss this week going into the week after, as we build into the King and the Queen of the Ring tournament and Double or Nothing. We can talk definitely about how WWE and AEW are building to two separate pay-per-views with two different ideas, and which one is getting a bigger and better build. Which one are you more excited to watch, and which one are you just kind of going, why? And then you have to ask the question, are we sure that Vince McMahon doesn't have his hand in some other wrestling federation?
But if you think about it, if you've watched this for a little while, you already know what a lot of our opinions are, because we've stated them over the months.
Yes.
But come Sunday, we'll reiterate.
Yep, we'll be here for all that. Of course, Mondays we'll be back with your Monday Night Raw review show. It'll be your go-home show to the King and Queen Arena tournament. We're going to see who the finals for Raw, Queen, and King in the Ring are going to be going into that. And then, of course, we'll be here with SmackDown next Friday. We'll come on and we'll talk about who wins those matches and what is all set up. Next Friday, SmackDown will be your last SmackDown before the King and the Queen of the Ring tournament. So we'll have that all wrapped up, shined up real nice and pretty. And, of course, Wednesdays, you can join us right here. Somebody will be here to do a Dynamite post-show review. Will that be Marty Richards? Will that be Miguel Z? Will that be myself? Who knows who will be here to deep dive into that. And speaking of Miguel Z, he is our New Japan Pro Wrestling expert. He brings you every Tuesday right here on the channel the Rebound, the New Japan Pro Wrestling Rebound podcast, where he breaks down everything going on in the world in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I wonder what he'll have to say about the IWGP title being not necessarily defended, but an eliminator match for the IWGP title on a AEW pay-per-view with two guys.
That's not Forbidden Door.
It's not Forbidden Door, with two guys who are actually signed to AEW and not New Japan. How do you like SmackDown, guys? Hope my booking was great as always.
Man of three H's.
Okay. Yeah. Oh. Man with three H's. SmackDown was a good, solid show. But if you want me to really believe...
Oh my goodness, brother! What is Hollywood Hulk Hogan doing in our chat?
The original Triple H. Yes. Yes. Let me tell you something, brother. If you're booking SmackDown, brother. No. I'm sorry. I do not believe that you're the gamer. If you're the gamer, let's get you on a phone call and get you live on the show. Because that's what we do. Yeah, my tribal chief.
What Stephen Larson do with Triple H?
My tribal chiefs. I know I'm late, but I got my sugar water, aka a Prima, ready for the stream. This could be the most entertaining stuff of the night. Go ahead, encourage yourself. We don't hate trolls here. We really don't. We find trolls very interesting. If you put yourself out there, we're going to run with it. So how are you doing, Mr. Man with three H's? How's your night going? Are you sitting on your throne?
Oh, Lord. But didn't Cody destroy it?
Oh, how do you feel about Cody destroying your throne? You never tell us how you really feel about it.
Oh my goodness. Jeez.
Are we ready? You didn't ask the right question. You didn't ask us, are we ready?
Something happened to your camera?
What? Oh, the camera that you see me on. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Camera that you see me on. What, Mr. Triple H's, Mr. H's, did you leave us? Did you not like me talking to you like that? Did you think I would? Oh, never, brother. Never better, brother. I'm cool with Cody because we can bring down the dub together. The W. You can bring down the W together? Please explain this line. Never better, brother. I'm cool with the Cody because we can bring down the dubba together. The dubba. The yabba dabba dubba.
Yeah, he didn't
The
say
all elite
dubba.
The all elite dubba. Are you really worried about all elite wrestling? Are they really that big of a threat to you? Do you really concern yourself what they do over there? I mean, are you really taking shots at them? Are you really trying to get their goat? Are you really just trying to attack? I mean, they set themselves up for failure. I mean, they bring you more attention by playing video footage of CM Punk. And then Will Ospreay. Yeah, how do you feel about Will Ospreay's comments, Mr. Man of Three H's? Brother, that's where I go fishing for talent on the weekend. So when are you going to bring up Ricky Starks? I think that's a great place. And where's why haven't you brought in MJF? How much longer are we going to see MJF appear somewhere? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Value of Wrestling. If you're not having fun with us, I don't know what to tell you. We reviewed SmackDown tonight. It's been a good, solid show. I definitely think things are headed in the right direction. I know a lot of people were worried about when we were building into the draft. Things kind of seemed lost and floating, and nobody knew where it was going to go. But I think we're on the right track. We're building into a wonderful pay-per-view this weekend, or next weekend. Excuse me. The King and the Queen of the Ring tournament is going to be awesome. I think we have a great pay-per-view. Logan Paul and Cody Rhodes. Whether you think Logan Paul deserves a title match or not, it's regardless. It is the man. It's going to be the right show. It's going to get the Saudi crowd over, and it's going to be a lot of fun. The man with three H's, Starks man, is on the way, but Max is busy collecting checks for the next few years. I bet he is. Yeah, I'd like to see Ricky Starks.
One way or another.
Sounds like AEW is not going to be using Ricky Starks anymore. I wonder if he got punished for showing up at WrestleMania. Anywho, and Tony Khan can't tell me he's not that little bitty man that gets all just toed up. We've seen what you're all about, Tony Khan. You can't hide it. But Cody versus Logan is giving Cena Rollins 2005 SummerSlam vibes. You agree? I think Logan Paul,
quite that far.
I think Logan Paul and Cody is going to be a good match. I think Logan Paul in Saudi Arabia is going to be over. Saudi fans love Logan Paul. It's the right move to make because it doesn't really hurt either of them. It's a big match. Logan Paul is getting his way built up there. I know a lot of people are not decided that he's getting another title match, but I mean, hey, you know, who can you really have that you can lose to Cody right now without hurting too many people, you know? So I think this is a good, solid thing. They gave you the answer of how Logan Paul got out of defending his title. He weaseled his way out of it. Logan Paul is a weasel. Maybe they'll bring back the weasel suit for Logan Paul. That would be a great thing at some point. Maybe Braun Strowman can put him in the weasel suit. Could be very, very entertaining. Of course, it could be an interesting spin. It almost felt like Nick Aldis was going to book Logan Paul in another match. Maybe he'll book him in a U.S. title match at the pay-per-view, make Logan Paul wrestle twice. Or are we starting to antagonize a Nick Aldis? Because even Cody Rhodes brought it up. What happens when he gets angry? Are we going to ever see an opportunity where Nick Aldis can get into the wrestling ring in WWE and possibly wrestle? That's what I think we really need to see at some point. I hope we get that crossover. Hey, if you like Prime, you like Prime. I'm not a big drinker of that stuff. I've tried a couple flavors. They don't do it for me. Mr. Clarke's a bigger Prime guy. Supporter of Prime than I would be. So, I mean, you know, to each your own. I mean, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I'm a Pepsi guy, so, I mean, that's my thing. I guess I drank a lot of water in the Army, so I don't know if I like anything that's water. When you're drinking 2 quarts of water a day in basic training, and then sometimes you're chugging it straight down, yeah. And then it's especially fun when they make you chug 2 straight gallons of water. 2 quarts, you know, you chug 2 quarts of water, and then you got to sit down in a cold ass room and listen to somebody talk, and you can't go to the bathroom for an hour. So when you drink that much water that fast, oh boy. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not the biggest fan of water at times, but that it just some of these drinks don't do it for me.
That's absolutely fine. You're a Pepsi guy. I'm a cream soda guy.
Pepsi Phil and his
At least
big
we can somewhat.
Yes, me and Phil would probably get along quite swimmingly. I think me and Steampunk could sit down and have some interesting conversation if allotted the appropriate time and appropriate place. But yeah, no, I'm a Pepsi guy. No doubt about it. Coke, bringing Coke into my house is a crime. You can ask Mr. Clarke that one for sure. Not really, but you know.
Heck, if you see a Coke on the camera here, he gets a little. But can we at least accept wild cherry Pepsi?
Yes, wild cherry Pepsi's good. Even though probably have to say cherry Coke's a little better, but give me some grenadine and I'll be okay.
He admits a Coke product is actually okay.
Slightly better. Yeah. Now, Starry, the new Sprite or the new lemon lime soda from Pepsi, I think it's a little better than what they used to have with Sierra Mist, and it's a little better than Sprite to me. So I think Starry's even better than 7-Up. That might upset a lot of people, but I don't know. It just has a better taste to me. I've actually enjoyed drinking it. Crystal Pepsi, hell yeah! Bring back clear Pepsi, Crystal Pepsi. That shit was the bomb. I hope they bring it back one more time on one more round.
See, I associate the Van Halen song Right Now with the commercials they used to do back in the 90s for Crystal Pepsi.
Right now. Yes. Hey. Right now, at least Mountain Dew's kicking it with a lot of their flavors, and who doesn't love a good Baja Blast?
That is true. They're one of the only soda brands that's getting over with multiple flavors.
Yes. Code Red's good. Their Mountain Dew. They have a purple one. It's like with prunes, I think. It's weird, but it's actually good. They don't have a grape one. That's the only thing. I'm like, I want a grape one. But Mountain Dew, yeah, killing it with some of their flavors. And, of course, Baja Blast, just taking it out of the water. So, but yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is SmackDown Review. If you're joining us, if you're coming in later, if you're coming in now, we're just shooting stuff right now. We have somebody in the chat that's just giving this conversation, and we're enjoying the time. We're here to have fun. We're not just here to always be serious. We're not always here just to smack on AEW. And no, we are not. We are not WWE hardheads. We're not one-sided on this. If WWE is doing something wrong, and if you go back and watch this, you'll usually. I'm probably more the vocal one in this group that'll hold a little more. You'll see. We don't always agree with everything WWE does. It's just right now WWE's on a hot streak. They haven't really done too much wrong, and we understand it. And so AEW right now, it's not that we hate AEW. I love AEW to get on the right track and be a successful thing. I'd love to see AEW become a competitor, a viable competitor on a level. They may not be anywhere near the WWE level yet, and it may take them a while to get there, but I would want them to see them succeed and see these guys get over and see good matches and be excited for pay-per-views. What I'm being fed right now, it's just like, nah. And whether you like to hear it or not as a hardcore AEW fan, if you're out there, the ratings show it. Now, we can say, the ratings matter, the ratings don't matter. We can argue that all day, yesterday, and today. But the fact of the matter, when the ratings have dropped by thousands and thousands of people over the course of time, it does say that people are finally tuning out, that they're getting bored with it. Come on, guys. It's okay to admit that number one con in the wrestling business works for WWE right now. Well, I mean, you're right. I mean, Nick Khan is probably the best con in professional wrestling right now because he has gotten more done in professional wrestling. I mean, look at the Netflix deal he's got done. He was a big process of why we have WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. The big shows going overseas. We had, Backlash in France. We had Elimination Chamber in Australia. We had the Bash in Berlin coming up. The weekend of All In, which is great. So, I mean, Nick Khan is doing a lot of good things in the wrestling business, where Tony Khan is dancing in lukewarm water, trying to figure out how to survive. And I don't dislike Tony Khan. I think he could be the nicest person, the greatest person to work with. He could be the easiest boss. He could be the best boss in the world. But if you've ever really worked in a company, you can have the best boss in the world. You can have a boss that you love to death, but sometimes those are not the best bosses. Trust me, the bosses and the people in charge that I've worked with that I liked a lot sometimes weren't always the best bosses, because when it came down to getting stuff done or making sure people get stuff done, they didn't have that. They couldn't keep people motivated. So Tony Khan being friends with everybody in their company and getting along, I think is why we see some of the ways things go. Why some people slack off, or some people can tell him, no, I don't want to do this story, or other things that people don't put everything into it because everybody's just like, oh, Tony doesn't care. Tony's just going to, he'll be okay with it. Years later, we will talk about the day AEW fired CM Punk as the day AEW died, and it was all downhill from there. Yeah.
Well, you can make that argument with when Cody left, let alone with what happened with CM Punk.
I think Cody was a big component that's not talked about a lot. I don't think a lot of people look at that point, that when Cody left AEW was struggling on some aspects. Like the creative direction that was there was kind of lost. Mm-hmm. But they had Punk, who was carrying Collision. And as we've learned, Punk was a big part of what made Collision work. Punk was in charge of pretty much Collision. Collision was Punk's show. And Punk didn't let a lot of the BS that a lot of the other clowns in AEW played. And once Cody was gone, and then once they got Punk out of there, once they fired Punk for for the stupidity of what it was, it hasn't been the same. Now, I won't say they're dead, and I don't know if they'll ever die. Again, you have a man who has billions and billions of dollars to shove into this company. But we've seen what Ted Turner and WCW did with billions of dollars behind it. We saw what Dixie Carter and TNA with billions and billions of dollars done behind it. But again, TNA has managed to hang on. It's had its ups and downs. It was briefly on a backup, and now it's kind of floating in the mid-range. They're trying to fix that ship that they almost crashed. So AEW could be around for a long time. I don't know, and I don't really want to see it die, but it's not going in the right direction.
Having jobs for all these wrestlers is a good thing, whether we as fans enjoy the product or not. So it's like, I'm not mad that AEW exists, even as someone who's critiquing AEW at this point in time.
Yes. And yes, I think they do have that indie mindset. I think Tony Khan likes I think he grew up with the ECW and the New Japan stuff, and he got on his little talk boards, and this is what they talked about, and this is what excites Tony Khan. And I think when you're the booker, the man in charge, I think you're going to book what he likes. What did we bitch about when Vince was in charge? When it started going downhill, was Vince was booking for Vince, not booking for the fans. And I think that's what we're seeing with Tony. Tony's booking for himself and to please his buddies in the back. I think the people
who agree with him.
Yeah, I think he's kind of got an Eric Bischoff feel in the beginning when Eric was kind of buddies with everybody and hanging out and being cool with everybody until Eric realized he had to draw a line. And Eric Bischoff will even admit to that in the beginning, he was over here being buddy, and then it came down to a point where it's like, oh, you know what, I need to be serious. And this is where I see Tony Khan's downfall. And I don't know if Tony Khan can ever get to the point of being a boss. I don't know if he has that in him to be that person. Just because of a lot of stuff that's gotten away with. We know he'll fire people, but it'll be a wait and see. Anyways, the man with 3 H's, we thank you for joining us in the chat. I appreciate you having a conversation with us tonight. We appreciate all of our fans for coming in. Everybody who tunes in each and every night, each and every week, each and every event, each and every show. We thank you. If you're in here, please give us a big thumbs up. This helps get out in the algorithm, helps us get out there so more people can see us. Make sure you share, like this, get this out in the algorithm, ring the bell for notifications so you know when all new content is coming out. Or when we go live, you'll be notified. And of course, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. We are marching our way forward. We're getting closer and closer to 500, which is a big deal. We appreciate you. We promise you, after 500, we're going to work hard to get to 1,000. And once we hit that 1,000, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to blow up into something fun and fancy. We do have some stuff that's coming out, hopefully by next week, regarding WrestleMania 41, what our plans and goals are, and how you may be able to help support getting that done. Because it's viewers like you that help us make content, and we really want to go to WrestleMania 41 to bring you awesome, amazing content from all angles. Because we are going to take you. We have a great cameraman that is going to be with us on this event. He's going to be behind the camera, and we are going to. What in the world just happened? What did you just do, man with 3 H's? Okay. All his messages got redacted on my screen. Anywho, hit that
Same here.
subscribe button, and we're going to see what goes down going forward. We appreciate you for being here. We'll hope you tune in next time. Next time we'll be live. It's 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Sunday with the Weekly Roundup podcast. We will see you then.
No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word